Yep, I am. All right. Looks like we are live. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like we are live. All right. Welcome everyone to the 35th episode of Got a Spotlight with Leah Serenity Rose. I'm your host, Leah, and my guest of honor today is Emzberry.
Yay.
All right. So if you guys have any questions for Emsberry, be sure to put your questions in the live stream chat. But here's my first question for you, Emsberry. Tell us about how you got started on your Twitch channel and how you became a Sonic VTuber.
Well, with Twitch, it was just something I've been wanting to do for a while. So in January, I was like, okay, I might as well just do it now. It's the new year. Um, and I just kind of decided, like, fuck it, let's do it. Um, and yeah, I noticed that there's a lot of when you look at the Twitch space in the Sonic community, you see mostly predominantly like men faces,
Mhm.
in the space of it all. I wanted to be an example, and put more female faces in there, you know?
Mhm. Oh, very interesting. Yeah, like mostly when you stream on Twitch, it's like you are usually dealing with most of your audience is mostly men, you know. And that's
Mhm.
really cool that you wanted to like, you know what? I want to have more women in here, you know? It's like I want to have more women audience. It's like, yeah.
Mhm.
That's very admirable of you, Ems.
Thank you.
Oh, but but yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see a question in the chat by Kevin. Um, my first question to Ems, what got your streaming on Twitch and what are some of your best moments from your stream so far? Ooh, that's
Well, I answered the first question already. My best moment gotta be there's a lot. I really can't pick my best ones. Anything through my Sonic Unleashed playthrough
mm,
and my FNAF 2 playthrough, I think, are the best ones.
mm, nice. Because I know like sometimes when you're like streaming a game, sometimes there's always got to be something at least funny, that happens during the
Mhm.
stream. Is
Something
there any
always happens.
is there like any particular one that you remember that that happened while you were streaming?
Uh, I did this one stream, I think, about a month or 2 ago. It was a stream, like, if you sub, I have to restart the level, and it was Eggman Land. That that got me to crash out, like, so bad. It was generally I don't think I'll ever do Eggman Land ever again because of it. Um But I was just, like, begging everybody, I was like, "Please stop, just let me get through, like, a good portion of the level before you do it." Um, and then we were almost, like, close to the main, like, point of the, level, and then all of a sudden, somebody decides to drop 10 gifted subs, and I'm like, "Bro, what am I supposed to do here?"
You're like, I was almost close to finishing this level. You're like, no.
Yeah, spoiler, I
Oh,
never even got to finish that level on that stream. Well,
oh.
no, I didn't actually. No, not at all. We did S rank Eggman Land one stream, and that was fun.
So was that like a fun like challenge that you gave like your audience that like, oh, like if you sub I have to restart the level.
Yeah.
They're gonna like, yeah, let's make it hard on Ems.
That's what they love. That's what my audience love. They love it when stuff gets tough and I get mad and crash out at them. It's a good portion of the brand. I mean, even before I did the Twitch streaming, the crash outs, that's what got people in.
Oh. Ooh, okay. Here's my next question for you, Ems. How did you come up with your username? I'm very curious.
This is really funny because people will assume my name is like Emily, and it's not.
Oh.
um, but I got my name because the first letter of my name is literally the letter N, right?
Mm.
So, I was like, "Okay, what sounds like the letter M? I'll just put N, like EM." And then I was like, "Oh, a Z at the end? That will sound cool." So M's, M&M's. So M's, and I was like, "I love strawberries a lot. It's really cool. So let's add berry at the end of it." So then we got Emzberry. And, yeah.
Ooh, very clever. Yeah,
Mhm.
because I definitely see like strawberry theming in like your in your graphics. So I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see a comment from Kevin. Another one of my favorite moments was when Cody Madu said, "Hey Ems, watch this," and instantly hits you the moment the race started during Raising Rings. The reaction was absolutely priceless.
Oh my gosh, that was so recent too. It was for charity, okay? I can't get mad at Patrick for, doing that. However, he is very ruthless at every game we play, even off stream. Sonic Rumble? Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
And it's like I felt so bad when you were doing so good in that race and got hit right at the end.
That was PMO. That genuinely pissed me off, but it's all good. I locked in at the end. I clutched.
It kinda sounds like Mario Kart vibes where you're dominating the race for, like, most of it, and then, like, one of your friends just decides to, like, hit you with an item at the very end, and then they
Yeah.
pass you.
They do it on purpose. They hold it in, and then they go right at you. They're out to get you, and you feel threatened, and you feel hurt. Trust issues,
Oh.
man. Trust issues.
Oh. Alright, I don't see any other questions in the chat yet, but here's my next one for you. I'm curious to know, who came up with your OC's design? Like, I love the design of your OC.
Um, I think it involved 2 people, which was me, obviously. Um, and then an artist friend of mine, named, like, Aishi. Um, she did a lot of art for a past project I did, uh, called Sonic Split, which was an audio drama series. Um, and we kinda just, like where I was like, "Yeah, what would I look like if I was a hedgehog?" And I was like, I'm, like, 1, strawberry theme, pink, has to be pink, okay?" And I was like, long quills because I was like I was trying to make my OC not to look too much like Amy, but, like,
Mhm.
I pink is my color too, alright? I'm literally Amy Rose. So obviously it's going to have some similarities, but I want it to be as original as possible. So that's kinda what we did, and it was fun. I really like her. I like using her in, like, everything I do.
Yeah, your OC I like your OC's design. Very cute.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. I see another question in the chat. Another question by Kevin. You voiced some redeems for some other VTubers like Cosmo for Zora Starlight. Are there any that you enjoy doing the most? Ooh.
Ooh. I think I did another thing for Sora. I did cream, I believe. It was either yeah, it was cream and cheese. I did cream and cheese, and I also did Cosmo. Um, that's the only stuff that I've done for VTubers. Now with my regular content that I've been doing before the Twitch, I do voice skits. I was a voice actress in the community before I did the content creator stuff. Um, I think Tails, obviously Amy's definitely the number one. But Tails is really fun to do. I've also done Charmy. Um, I've done Chris, that's, like, a given. Mostly, like, I try to my I grew up in Sonic at the 4 Kids era, like, dark they call it the dark age. But I
Yeah.
really, really love that cast dearly, and a lot of my inspiration for voice acting comes from that cast.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Um, I'm very curious, have you met, those voice actors? I'm very curious if you met.
Yeah. I've, met and befriended a few of them. I've met Jason Griffith, 2 times. I've met and kinda became friends with Lisa Ortiz, which is, like, my inspiration for voice acting as a whole. She's awesome. She's so cool. And I've met Pete Capella 2 times, and he's cool. He likes my videos, and
Yeah,
they're all
that's
goats.
like, that's gotta be cool when you have, like, a voice actor that you enjoy, that
Mhm.
you
Grew up
grew up
with.
with, and then they
Mhm.
end up liking your content, and you're like, "Whoa." It's
Yeah,
like
it's something.
when you're a kid, you're like, "I never thought that would be a thing," you know? I was
I
like
know.
it's like when you look at, like, if you were to ever travel back in time and tell your younger self, "Hey, Pete Capella's gonna like your content when you're older." It's like
Dude, I didn't even know their names when I was a kid. I was just like, "Wow, these voices are so cool." Um, and obviously, I was drawn to Amy the most because I mean, like, that's a pink she was, like, unlike any female character I've ever seen, at least in that era. Now she's well, I'm not gonna get into my opinions of now, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Whoa, Kevin here just, just shooting more questions in the chat here. His next question is, what got you into voice acting? And I know you kind of mentioned Lisa Ortiz as one of the inspiration. Is there like
Mhm.
other Sonic voice actors that got you into it?
No, not really. Lisa Ortiz was like the voice that I was like, wow, that is so like amazing. And it's like it had that spunky energy to it. It gave that like you gave a silly pink character that like it gave the personality, that personality in the voice. It really fits Amy like pen and paper. It's like really good. Um and I was just like, "Wow, that'd be so cool to, like, voice something like that one day." Specifically Amy, but that was that's a big dream, that's a big dream, and, it's okay if I don't ever achieve it. I'm chasing other dreams in the side right now.
Yeah, like Lisa Ortiz, like her Amy voice is just iconic at this point. Like
Mhm.
whenever I go back to the Sonic games that she did voice in, like especially the first Riders games, and then Amy gets really mad at Sonic for like not thinking like when Sonic did that wind thing on Eggman when he held Amy and stuff, and
Mhm.
she got mad at him. I was like, "Oh my gosh," I was like, Lisa Ortiz she just does the delivery so well in that. It's like you
Perfectly.
like I could tell it's kinda like you could tell she had a lot of fun, like,
Oh, I
recording
can
that.
imagine.
Like
Oh my gosh. Getting, like, to be, like, just silly, and then all of a sudden, like, have, like just get mad at stuff, and, like, it's so fun. That sounds so fun.
yeah. Ooh, okay, here's my next question. What got you into the Sonic franchise?
Um, I've been always a fan of Sonic, ever since I was a kid. Um, my, father was into Sonic, and he bought a lot of the games, and we would go to, like, every single, like, Friday after work, we would go to GameStop, and we would get, like, Sonic figures. But I grew up, my first Sonic game was Sonic Unleashed, and then Sonic and the Black Knight. I grew up with, like, all the good games. Um So, yeah, I definitely had, I guess nostalgia does tie into my, like, liking for the Dark Age era. But I kinda, like, throughout, like, my time in, like, school and stuff, was like, "Yeah, I like Sonic," but, like, I wasn't, like I was never in the fandom. Um And then Sonic Movie 1 came out, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, Sonic's cool." And then I came in, I was like I was mostly, like I was not in the community. I was just, like, kinda, like, liking, like, videos about it and stuff, and that was kinda it. And then towards the end of 2024, I was like, "Oh, it'd be really funny to do, voice acting content because I saw a lot of people like Turbo Jet, um, and, Random Goon VO doing, like, stuff like that. I was like, "Oh, that'd be really funny. Let me do it." And then I hopped on and now I'm here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I always love asking this question because we all have like different, entry points, because some are like, oh, the classic era, There's a
Mhm.
lot of Sonic fans that grew up in the classic era, and then some like grew like past era, or actually went into like the four kids cast era, where
Mhm.
started with Sonic X or if you're more like oh, you start more in like um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think, that's just so interesting that, you're kinda like you were just kinda just, like, casually watching videos about it, and then, you're like, "You know what? Let's actually do something."
Mhm.
Let's make some content about this. Ooh. Ooh, okay, here's my next question for you, Ems. Um, Are there any professional voice actors who inspired you, to do some voice over in Sonic comic dubs? Like it could be either professional or like the ones who do like Sonic comic dubs. I mean,
Oh, people in the Sonic dub community?
yeah.
Um, I don't really do comic dubs. Like, if it's like a friend reaching out to me, then I'll do it. But
Mhm.
I don't really do comic dubs. I just do like funny voice skits, and that's really it. I lean
Mm.
into more of the meme side of like the community because that's what people really like. They like memes. They like Sonic memes. Um, so I just try to be silly and goofy with it.
Yeah, that's absolutely true because even the official Sonic like accounts, sometimes they'll put memes from time to time on their
Mhm.
socials.
They like
Gotta thank
them.
because remember we gotta thank Aaron Weber for that. He's the one who got started that trend thing. Um, but oh, okay. I see another question. The chat. Another question by Kevin. What advice would you give anyone to looking to get into VTubing and start streaming? Or is there anyone who you love to stream with in the future? Ooh.
um, Let me see. For advice of getting into VTubing, I wouldn't call myself a VTuber yet. I'm a PNG tuber. However, I am working on one right now. I haven't told many people this, but I am working on one right now, and it's going to be a big thing, a big event. Um, so I mean, for what I've gone so far, just from getting into actual VTubing, is you I would recommend get a job if you don't already not making money on the side of the internet, get a job, touch the grass, because VTubing costs a lot of money. It costs
Mhm.
so much money, just to get the model, the rig, all of it. It's, very expensive, but, if you're somebody like me, I kinda just, like I had my friends kinda help me with my PNG model. My friend, Nick, aka that bird guy, made the sprites for her, and then I had my graphic designer friend Gam, the game gambler, he helped with my overlays, um, and I mean, I've had some experience with streaming just from past stuff that I've done, um, I would say, like, even in streaming in general, if you don't wanna even be a VTuber or a PNG tuber or whatever, if you just wanna, like, stream, I would stream. I would just do it. I don't like, you need to, like oh, I know a lot of people is, like, expecting, like, when they start, like, "Oh, I wanna make it big immediately." Like,
Mhm.
you need the
Mhm.
experience, alright? You might
Yeah.
have a few bad apples, like, you might not, like, start, like, good right away, but it builds the experience, like, even
Mhm.
if it's, like, 5 viewers in your chat and you're just, like, you're doing it for fun. You're doing it for the love of the game.
Mhm.
get that experience, and, people that I wanna stream with, everybody that I've streamed with is everybody I've wanted to stream with, Sam and them. Sam Procrastinate's my goat. Um, he's awesome. Everybody that I wanna stream with, I'm going to stream with. They're my mutuals, so I don't know. Maybe this will never happen, but it'd be funny. Ariana Grande, that'd be awesome. It will never happen, but if there was somebody, that would be the someone.
Oh. Oh. But yeah, definitely true. It's like that's absolutely true. Like when you first start streaming, you're not gonna get a lot of people right away. That's just a reality that, you know, like
Mhm.
like people assume that when you first start out, you're going to automatically get a lot of viewers. I'm like, no, 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 that's unrealistic. You need to be very realistic with yourself. When you
Mhm.
first start out, it's always gonna be maybe a few or several viewers. That's just how it starts when you start streaming. Um, and that's absolutely true. Like, don't do it don't try to make it your main income, like I do agree because it's like you
Mhm.
do need a job and I know when I was talking to Team Starlight about it, like Sora literally told me that they commissioned someone to do, the actual what like, the actual VTuber model, for their OC, and it's like, yeah, it's like that much. I'm like, "Wow." Um, but but yeah, I was very surprised how pricey and expensive, but then again, like, that person is putting a lot of time and effort
Mhm.
to make sure, like, all that animation for the VTuber rig is, like, functional. So I totally get why they're charging a lot because animation, yeah, I took a bit of animation class, so I kinda know how much time it takes to make a simple animation. So I totally understand why they're charging a lot for if you're gonna commission someone to actually do like a full on rigging of your VTuber model. But
Mhm.
great advice, Sims. Ooh, okay. And here's my next question for you, Ems. In your words, what would you say is most rewarding when it comes to being a content creator?
Rewarding? There's a number of things that could be, rewarding and to be a content creator. I mean, specifically in the Sonic space, I mean, you get opportunities. Uh, if you get farther enough, you get opportunities with the social media team, and they're like a good group of people. Um, I mean, last year I got to help launch the Year of Shadow. Like, how insane is that? And that was like my first
Wow.
year, like, of just doing content. Um, and Yeah, stuff like that was pretty cool, getting packages from, like, Sega themselves, and I guess, like, the fans, I think the number one thing, it's like, even, like, not even a Sonic creator, any creator, I think the fans in the community is the most rewarding part of the entire process. You have people that enjoy you for you, like you for you, and, like, they're there for you, um, and it's really nice to know that, like, you can make somebody's day. You can make, like, hundreds of people smile a day.
Mm,
I think that is, like, the number one thing that's rewarding. And, of course, like, even making friends in the community,
mhm.
that's, like those are, like making friends in the community, and then the fans are, like, the 2 best things, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I do like I absolutely agree. Like the Sonic fandom, it's like when you start to become well known, at least like you start making friends, with people. Like it's crazy because it's like some of these people that like say like for example, like Sonic Paradox, um I love their content ever since I was little. And I actually got to do a Q&A with them like 2 years ago.
Mhm.
um and it's just very very strange because it's like like if I would have time traveled back to my younger self and tell her that, oh yeah, you're gonna actually do a Q&A with Sonic Paradox, I wouldn't really believe my future self or anything. So um but yeah. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Nice question, Kevin. Okay. Here is Kevin's next question. How does it feel as someone both as a content creator and fairly new to streaming to have grown an audience and now have a content and be a content creator guest at Sonic Expo Atlanta in August? Ooh.
Um, I think it's pretty cool. I went to Expo Dallas last year just to, be on the side and just see it for myself, just to experience it. And it was pretty cool to be a guest, like an actual content creator guest this coming year. It's gonna be really cool. Um, I can't wait. I'm like being a guest is like amazing and all, but like I'm more in it for my friends. I miss my friends so much. A lot of my friends that were there at Dallas are gonna be there. So I'm really excited to see them again. Patrick's gonna be there. Um, I cannot wait to see them all again.
Nice. Yeah, like, I wish I could go to Sonic Expo, but it's like, um, yeah, sometimes I tend to have summer plans, so that kind of gets in the way. And I know the
Mhm.
other one, the main one, I know like I know they're having like one in, you know, in in Dallas as well. So it's like, my gosh, it's like, and they're like, "Are you going?" Like, some of my friends ask me, "Are you going?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, November's a busy month for me. That's like my birthday month. I'm sorry." So it's like, because literally, like, my dad's birthday's in November. There's Veterans Day where I go to visit relatives, and then my birthday, and then Thanksgiving. So so November
Mhm.
is just a very busy month for me. So that's why it's like I don't think it's possible for me to ever go to Expo because it's like it's usually in the months where I have plans. Unfortunately. But that's cool.
Mhm.
Ooh, okay. Here's my next question for you, Ems. Are there any Sonic characters you relate to in terms of personality?
Amy.
Amy.
I'm not even just saying that because she's just my favorite character. Like literally, main, like one of the main reasons why I like Amy so much is because I relate to her so much. Especially like when I was a little kid. Being like a girl and just having a crush on somebody, like to the point where you chase them around. Uh, I used to chase boys in my at school when we were at recess. A
Oh.
lot. Really good times, good memories. And I just like her silly energy and stuff. Like I'm very silly with my friends, and I like it's really inspiring how she's just not afraid to just be herself. Um,
Mhm.
and she doesn't care whether there's things. She only like she's inspiring. Like when nobody else believes like Sonic, like in Sonic, Amy's there to believe in Sonic. A good
Mm.
example was Sonic Unleashed, where everybody was like losing hope and like she's like Sonic would never like give up or whatever. She would like he'll come through. And I was like that's inspiring. So yeah, Amy's like the number one person I relate to the most.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. It's like, because when you think about it, it's like when you meet people that are like super sweet, kind, and gentle, and then it's like once you anger them, oh, the thorns
And then they
come on.
snap. That's
And then the
literally me.
it's like it's kind of like the thorns come out, and I'm ready to like I'm ready for all the rage to come out now.
That's literally like my whole brand. Like you see my whole brand is like pink and cutesy. You step one foot into my stream and then you hear full on rage. like
Yeah. It's so funny because like, oh, this content creator seems sweet. Oh, you're like, oh yeah, the
One
thorns are
step
just
in.
yeah. It's kind of like basically like, yeah, you don't want to anger Ems. Like, her inner Amy is ready to rage out while she's streaming. Aw, and Kevin put 100%. You really do meet some incredible people as you grow as a content creator. Absolute facts.
Mhm.
Absolute facts, Kevin. I'm very curious from your perspective, Ems. What from your perspective, what do you think makes the Sonic franchise stand out?
Um, it's a number of things really, but do you mean like the franchise like itself, like the branding or like the community?
Like, how about like both? From
Okay.
those two different perspectives.
I think in terms of branding, what makes it stick out so much is that it's a bunch of colorful characters. I think the colorful characters really stick out the most. Um, I think it's very vibrant. I mean, the themes of it, like the whole he's a hedgehog collecting rings and stuff like that's not a concept, but like when you take like one step in, I really think like story and the voice acting, like the cinematics, I think that's what really sticks out with Sonic the most in terms of a video game franchise. Now with the community, I think what really sticks out the most is how vocal and how like very passionate the fans are in terms of modding, voice acting projects, um, like fan Sonic like conventions and events, like Sonic Expo or even going to Sonic Symphony. I think
Mhm,
the fans being passionate and vocal and very passionate for this like franchise is really
mhm,
inspiring.
mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Like when you think about it, do you see any other like popular like video game IPs getting like fan conventions? It's very rare when you think about it. Like I'll
Yeah,
like
I
hear
not that I know of.
like it's strange, right? Because we have a lot of like we have Sonic Expo, we have Sonic Revolution, we have SonicCon UK, and now we have Sonic Neon Summit, it's their
Mhm.
first year. So it's very strange because we don't like even though like Super Mario is very popular, you don't even see fan conventions about it, which is very strange, but but
Yeah.
but yeah, I do agree. It's like Sonic is just like a franchise that just you could say like the company itself really embraces the fans' passion
Mhm.
about it. Like they do allow like fan games. Like they actually commend people who make fan games, or make mods, like they actually appreciate the fans' passion and I kind of feel like other game companies should like embrace the fans too, you know, um and everything. But I guess because they're just so strict with just game developing and not, you know, improving the brand. But, I would say probably Nintendo's probably doing that with Super Nintendo World, I guess, um,
Mm.
if anything, but yeah, like, um and when you think about it, like, the Sonic franchise itself really is multi-age, it's not just appealing to, like, the older fans, it also appeals to, like, the newer generation. Too. Like, it's like a very multi-age, like, IP and brand, you know?
Mm.
And I always get envious whenever the kids get, like, nice T-shirt designs, and then it's like the adult ones don't really get nice T-shirt designs. Like,
Yeah.
I always get envious of that, and I'm like, "Man, we did not have these Sonic T-shirts when I was their age. They're so lucky." Um Ooh, okay, I see another question by Kevin. Is there any Sonic voice actor and or content creator you love to meet someday? Ooh.
Most of the voice actors I've met is all I've really wanted to meet. I guess, she doesn't do convention. I haven't even seen her online like ever. But Amy Pallant, the voice of Tails during the Dark Age era, I would love to meet. Um, and then content creator, every content creator that I've wanted to meet once, I've already met at like expo and stuff, and they're like my friends. Uh,
Mhm.
so I've met everybody that I've really wanted to meet in terms of the Sonic community, I think, for the most part.
Aw. I just love how you're
Yeah.
like, it's like, "Yeah, I think I'm good." It's like I met all the content creators that I wanted to meet. Um,
Yeah.
that's so adorable, Ems. Ooh, okay. Here is my next question. What do you think is the most important skill for a content creator to have?
Well, I mean, in general or like a specific thing like streaming or like YouTube, like
I would say in general.
okay. Um you gotta have a unique personality. Like you don't try to be somebody you're not, like just
Mhm,
because it's trendy. Be yourself
mhm,
because that's what people really want. They want the genuine you. They want to be fans of
mhm,
you. They don't want to be
mhm,
fans of somebody pretending to be somebody else. They want to be fans of you. And I think that's like that's number one right there.
mhm. Absolutely. Like being true to yourself, and being, your authentic self, that's that's what makes you so memorable, as a
Mm.
content creator. I definitely agree. Because like I kind of feel, that like some people forget that when they're content creating because they're like, "Oh, if I do the trendy stuff, it's like, well, you're doing it for the wrong reason. You're not really doing it because you're not being very authentic, you know, to yourself and to your audience, you know."
Mm.
Because I feel being true to yourself and just showing who you really are, that's when your audience like wants to tune into your stuff because they're like, oh, it's like they're actually just being themselves. It's kind of like, you're basically talking to them, virtually, you know.
Mm.
Because when you meet people in real life, it's the same thing. You need to be your true self. Well, unfortunately, there's people who do hide who they really are, unfortunately, but
Mm.
but but I agree. Being true to yourself, and being just be yourself is like the best thing you can do for yourself and your audience. Because I know like at some point it's going to be exhausting when you try to pretend to be someone you're not, just for views and attention. It's like, no, don't do it that way. That's not the right way to content creation. You need to just be you,
Mm.
and being you, that makes all of us cool. You don't need to be, a specific archetype to stream, you know. and
Yeah.
and and look at Kevin, he was able to recall some funny moments from your streams. And that was just you just being yourself, Ems.
Yeah.
So that's a great important skill. Just being yourself is the most important thing.
Mhm.
And and be true to yourself and do it because you love it. Don't do it because, you want views or attention, because some people do it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Here is my next question. Like in general, what do you enjoy about when it comes to streaming games on Twitch?
Um, I'm when it comes to streaming games, it's not really for the games. It's mostly for like, entertaining my audience, which is really like easy to do because I like to think of myself as a very entertaining person. Um, I love and I love and like engaging with my community. I love like just talking to them and just like I've always like when it was one of the big things I wanted to do when I went into streaming this year is like I want to like expand my audience but also like get closer to them because for the longest time I was only like somebody posting like funny shit posts on like Twitter or like Instagram and YouTube of just like tails crashing out, right? That was something
Mhm,
I was doing for a long time and I was like I wanna be more engaging. I wanna be more
mhm,
memorable than just, a guy who makes, really funny, Sonic videos. I wanna do streaming. I wanna, I wanna be a household name.
mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like, because it is definitely a struggle, where it's like, I do wanna be entertaining, but at the same time, alluding to the previous, answer that you provided, that you also gotta be true to yourself, you know,
Mhm.
and everything. So yeah. Um, because I know that when I started my podcast, I really had to think about what did I want to achieve with engaging with my audience. You know, um, I want to think outside of the box as well, because it's like, well, there's a lot of Sonic content creators, so I do want to stretch it out and do, because I literally also run a Lucky Charm podcast, and for those who don't know, it's literally a Miraculous Ladybug podcast because there's not a lot of podcasts about the series and it's popular. Um and so so I wanted to be authentic with that too. And what I did is that I decided to take a long shot. And I actually contacted someone who does a lot of Miraculous Ladybug video essays, who goes by the Cartoon Hotspot. And I took a shot and I messaged her, and she actually was very interested. And now I actually do have her on for every episode of my Lucky Charm podcast.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like, for those, please go follow the Cartoon Hotspot. She is a very good buddy of mine. Like, I'm like you, Ems, I make friends like in the fandom as well, other than Sonic.
Yeah.
Like, she's like a Miraculous Ladybug buddy with buddy of mine. So, but
Mhm.
that's cool. Ooh, okay. Here is my next question. Are you hoping to expand your streaming on, like, are you hoping to do more on YouTube? Because I know you have a YouTube, but I don't know if you're hoping to expand it to YouTube other than Twitch.
Yeah, my last video that I posted like about almost a month ago, um, is about what I wanna bring to YouTube. Because for the longest time, it's just been voice skit videos of just different characters with, like, different, like, fan BAs in the community and stuff, and I still wanna do that, but, like, it's not my main topic anymore, you know?
Mm,
I was talking about how I wanna do, like, stream highlight videos to YouTube to mostly promote, like, to get the YouTube video not why do I keep saying video? YouTube people over to my Twitch for them to watch my streams. And if they can't watch my streams, I have a VODs channel, for that. Um, yeah, I definitely wanna do more with the YouTube stuff to, like, expand that because like, I'm already approaching, like, 20K, which was the goal of this year. Um, so I'm very
wow.
excited. Yeah.
Uh, Well, congrats for reaching 20K.
Mhm, well, close, we're close, we're, like, very close.
Come on, people, help Ems reach her goal of 20K this year. Ooh, okay. Okay, there's no new questions in the chat, just need to be sure. Okay, here is my next question for you, Ems. What challenges have you faced in being a content creator and how have you overcome them?
Um, I haven't faced much, like, I don't there's no drama I go into or anything, I'm nothing crazy like that, but, I this is just the hard truth of just being a female content creator in general, but misogyny, the misogynism that you get as a female content creator,
Mhm.
I face with a lot, a lot. Um, getting death threats for simply just being myself is also fun, but I just, like, learned to just not, like, look at that, and I just keep doing what I'm doing, alright? Because like, men hate women, there's a lot of men that just hate women, and that's fine, that's okay. Like, I'm not, like, a type of guy's like, "You have to like me." It's fine if you think I'm annoying, it's fine, but maybe don't
Mhm.
push it too far, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, because I know like content creation is definitely tough to build because
Mhm.
you really need to think about what else, like, what type of content should I do to keep my audience engaged, you know,
Yeah.
because at first when I first started out doing live streams, I was just doing my Q&A, and I was like, okay, I need to balance this because I don't want to overwork myself with too many interviews, so I had to like
Mhm.
balance that out with like the Lucky Charm podcast, and I also do another Sonic. I do like two Sonic podcasts on my YouTube channel as well, which is Sonic Lore with Radar. Very good buddy of mine, Fun Floof. He,
Oh.
yeah, I actually reached out to him and because he knows a lot about Sonic lore. It's still learning, but he has like more than like 100 pages of like Sonic lore, and he's like one of the lore people I go to whenever I need to know more about the Sonic lore. But yeah, I started doing that podcast with him, and of course I have like this really cool like Tangle and Blaze live stream with which of course I co-host with Kevin who's in the chat right now. And we just have like some wacky, like it kind of feels like sitcom moments where it's like so over the top. Um, but yeah. Ooh, okay. Here's my next question. What are your long-term goals and aspirations as a content creator?
Um, Imma be for real, most of my goals have been crushed. I'm kinda happy where I'm at. I don't know, I feel like a lot of content creators wanna go, like, bigger go. I'm like, at this point, like, I'm fine if I just stay still like this. Like, I don't wanna be super, super big, you know? Like, if I go further, that's cool, but, like, at this point, like, I'm just happy where I'm at. I'm happy with the position I'm in, like, it's all good from here. I'm just gonna keep on going until, whatever happens.
Eh, Ooh, ooh, okay. Sorry about that.
All good.
Ooh, let me see. Let me check. Is there any question? Nope. No questions in the chat. Ooh, okay. Here is my next question for you, Ems. Which other Sonic media are your favorites other than the Sonic games? It can be the
Sonic
animation.
X. No hesitation. Sonic X. Um, like I said before, I grew up with the 4 Kids, like, era, like, I grew up with them. That was, like, my main inspiration for, like, what I do with voice acting and stuff. Uh, I love the characters in Sonic X. I love the way they're characterized in that era.
Mm, yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. Sonic X was my entry into the
Mhm.
series. And it really gives you a sense of the characters' like personalities very well, where it's like, oh, Sonic, he's the hero, he's cocky, arrogant. Tails, he's like he's like the gadget person, very smart, can rival Eggman in terms of IQ. Eggman, of course, being the villain, builds like, mechs and robots. Knuckles, the hothead. I'm not really sure if Knuckles was always the hothead, but I always got that because of Dan Green's voice performance um in Sonic X, but
Mhm.
any other Sonic media other than Sonic X, or is it just Sonic X?
Sonic OVA is really good too. I really like that one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that one had a pretty at least straightforward story where it was easy to follow.
Yeah.
How about like the animations that they actually posted on the Sonic's YouTube?
Um, I really like what they did with the Shadow Gens. The series with that was pretty good. Dark Beginnings. I really enjoyed that. I love the cinematics. I really hope they do like more cinematics like that specifically. I also
Mm,
like the silly stuff, like what they did for the team racing stuff with those animations. Those were cute. They
mhm.
usually nail it on the animations. I never have a problem with it.
Yeah. Like like I kind of like I forgot who did the animation for the Dark Beginnings because I think that one was like probably a collab, I think, but I could be wrong. Um, but cool, yeah. Like every animation that they have released, like they just been nailing them. And it makes me want like a Sonic cartoon animated in that style.
Hmm.
Ooh, okay. I see a new question in the chat by Supertail16. Question for Ems. What's your very first time playing video games? I guess in general? They didn't say anything Sonic specific, but
Uh, I don't remember my very first video game. My father was really into video games, so I don't have memories of my very first video game, but it was probably something small. Like, I remember playing on the Leapster or the Leapfrog when I was younger, so that was something.
mm, interesting. Nice question, Supertail16. Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. Here is my next question for you, Ems. Which Sonic game's music is your favorite and why?
Music? That's hard. I can't pick. I'm sorry. I literally cannot pick the best music. Because there's so many good ones.
That's totally understandable.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I actually have a Sonic Symphony question for you, Ems. Have
Oh,
you
okay.
been to the Sonic Symphony concert? If so, what was your experience like when you attended?
I went there twice. This year and last year. I went here in January actually. I think it was right before I started doing Twitch streaming. I went. Um, First time I wasn't very well known because it was like in 2023, I believe. Um, I wasn't very well known. I think I had one person recognize me, which was cool, I guess. Um, but I was mostly there, like, for the experience itself was really cool, especially when they start playing, All of Me. Oh my gosh, the entire, theater, it was just screaming over there. You can barely hear, like, anyone because how loud it was. My second time, it was really cool because I was, like so many people that came up to me asking for photos and stuff, and, like, it's not like between that and Expo, that was, like, a first time thing where just, like, a bunch of people wanted to, like, get my photo, which is, kinda crazy. Um, but it was enjoyable. I think Sonic Symphony is one of those, like, fan events that, like, Twitter, like, if you're on Twitter for too much, you know how the Sonic community is on there. But if you sit foot and you're, like, with Sonic fans in person, it's so different. It's such a wonderful experience.
Mm. Oh yeah. Which city did you see the Sonic Symphony?
Both times was Atlanta.
Okay, because Kevin said it sounds like we went to the same one, Ems.
Maybe,
So
who knows?
because Kevin did go to the Atlanta one as well. Um, yeah. Nice, nice. Ooh, like uh another question regarding Sonic Symphony M's. Was there like songs that you didn't expect they would play at the both times that you went?
Um, no, not really. It was like kind of like the obvious ones. I don't. I don't remember if there was one that was like, "Oh my gosh, they're playing that?" Um, no, they played just the very generic ones at least both times that I went to.
Mm, because I
They did
know
Dreams of
when
Absolution, which was really cool.
I love when they play that one.
Mhm.
Um, oh, ooh, okay. I see a question in the chat. Another question by Kevin. Did you get to go to the Sonic Cafe in Atlanta too?
No, I didn't wanna drive, like, 4 hours just to go to a cafe, unfortunately. I thought about it, but I didn't go.
Mm, yeah, because you might be dealing with a long line. And it's like, oh, I gotta drive 4
Yeah,
hours from
it's
where
not
I,
worth it. Not
yeah,
worth it. If it's
it,
closer to me, then yeah.
mm, yeah. Yeah, I know they were there for like, I think Kevin, you can confirm how many days they were there in Atlanta. I think it was 60 days. I could be wrong. But yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not worth it unless if it's like within driving distance, at least where you live.
Mhm.
Um, that's totally understandable. But I'm very curious, have you ever looked at the menu online at least to see what menu items they
Yeah.
have?
I've seen some of it. I didn't look too much into it. I see stuff on Twitter about it with people talking about it. That's mostly where I see most of the stuff.
Mm, yeah, because I was so glad that they literally have like the Amy like strawberry milkshake. I'm like, yes, that's just perfect for Amy.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Kevin said they were there for 60 days. So that, yeah, that's about like 2 months. And yeah, yeah, that sounds about like 2 months. Kevin said the first time I tried to go, the line was too long, so I had to wait until another time when it had died down. Yeah, usually when it first opens, there's always a lot of people. I've been to the Sonic Speed Cafe at least like 4 times because it was they opened it first in San Diego during Comic-Con, um, and stuff. So looks like we are looks like we can do one more question before we end the stream.
Yippee.
We'll end it on what is your favorite Sonic game and why?
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's hard. Um, between Sonic Unleashed and Sonic the Black Knight. Uh, in terms of gameplay and everything, I'm gonna have to go with Sonic Unleashed. I think Sonic Unleashed is the standard. I think it should be the standard for a lot of just the Sonic video games in general. The hub worlds, the fact that you can like it literally feels like you're going on a world adventure, hence the name World Adventure in the Japanese version.
Mhm,
Um, the voice acting, the just, like, the aesthetics, the fact that it takes, like, inspiration off, like, real life places in the real world, Chip, the boss fights, it all, like, ties together like a nice, like, little present, and I just, like I hope one day we get a game just like that again, because
mhm.
that was probably the best Sonic game to ever exist, to this day.
Mhm. Yeah, it has that nice balance of like, and the fact that they did like a day night levels,
Yeah.
because I think that was something they didn't really do, where like they put like a lot of multiple night levels, but that was just part of the gimmick, because Dark Gaia was released, and then we kind of see how Sonic ended up becoming the Werehog and stuff. But nice. Yeah, Sonic Unleashed, I think, is probably the most polished too, I would say. Because I don't really hear too much complaints about the controls that much, to my
Mm-mm.
knowledge though. So yeah, if Sega kind of just stuck with like at least keeping the controls from that game, then I think, their more recent games would be just as good. And of course, looks like that is the last question. I want to thank you, Ems, for taking part of the in this Q&A.
Of course.
It was such an honor to do this Q&A with you. And of course, I want to thank you, audience, especially Kevin. You had like so many questions for Ems. um, for asking so many great questions to Ems. And of course, I will be saying what is coming up this Sunday on May 18th on here on my YouTube channel at 1 p.m. PT, 4 p.m. ET is Guess Everything Super Mario through emojis, where two of my buddies, Andrew HVA and Kenny, will be facing each other and guessing emoji sets the fastest. And then this coming Monday, May 19th at 5 p.m. PT, 8 p.m. ET is Scooby Doo Where Are You Twitter Space. And then on next Wednesday, May 21st at 5 p.m. PT, 8 p.m. ET is Team Sonic Racing Overdrive Twitter Space. And then next Thursday, May 22nd at 5 p.m. PT, 8 p.m. ET is 90s Cartoon Network Cartoons Twitter Space. And I just announced this earlier today. Next on May 27th at 5 p.m. PT, 8 p.m. ET is Disneyland Theme Park Experience Twitter Space. So be sure to tune in to my upcoming Twitter Spaces and of course my live stream this Sunday. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on that bell notifications for upcoming live streams and video content. And but I will be letting you all know right. I will not be streaming in June and July because I will be away on vacation and I will be busy even after I come back from vacation from like um and near end of June to mid July. So I'll be away. But I want to thank you all for tuning in and may you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, everyone.